Tiny little stress bomb getting these things started. Audio's good. Okay, thanks, man. All right, we'll get started here. Oh, what do we got? Oh, 34. Yeah, that's probably good. All right, disclaim. All right, so first up here, a very regular contributor and someone I know is working his way through the belt system. He's going into purple now. This is Andreas, and this is his favorite pair. This is Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision, not to be confused with Bitcoin Silver. I tell you, I don't even know what Bitcoin Silver handle is. Okay, so anyway, here, let's get down to it. So as we look here, you know the drill, right? It's the same thing every week. We are demonstrating the methodology that we teach in the belt system through everything. If you come into our Discord, it's all going to be tied back to this methodology, right? So I try and make an effort. What we're doing here is I'm asking the members to give me their TA with the projects, coins, pairs, assets, whatever they're looking at, and then we try and apply it and analyze and see if we are in sync. This is my favorite day of the week because I get to interact with the members, so I do look forward to these. Now, okay, so coming out here, I'm going to just do this real quick. Oh, shit, what do I want to do? Let's go. That'll work. Okay, just put it in something my brain will recognize. Okay, so you certainly can see the case here for 5 up, 3 down. Okay, it's kind of the foundation of Elliott Wave, right? So okay, right. So does the market move in 5s and 3s? Well, right, and not everybody agrees with that, but that I think is, in my view, is you can't even dispute it, right? So why it's kind of a silly conversation to have. Okay, so here I'm going to unlock this just a little bit so we can get. Fuck me, he's got me locked out here. Okay, let me get in here. These guys, I think they don't like me moving their stuff around. Okay, so here, that's locked. All right, let's see if I can get just move it a hair. I got to get in there so I can see how you're counting this. Okay, that's the daily. Oh God, this is good detail. Okay, nicely done, right? So he's definitely putting the work in, right? Okay, and is a master student working through our belt system, and he's putting, demonstrating, right, how a good student would approach this work. How are we getting here? So into the, this is, Jesus, that's some good work here. Okay, so we're going to go A, B, C. Okay, that's a little unusual. Okay, I'm going to allow for it here. So we'll go A, B, C, D, E. Well, one thought, Andreas, is if we're coming down from the B wave, right? So I kind of see what you're trying to do here. This would be there's a kind of a rare type of a triangle here that may be right what you're trying to do here. But one thought is you might, right, when in doubt, sometimes Elliott just always start with what's the simplest possible solution. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, A, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there's other ways that you might interpret this. Now, because what are you trying to do here? You're trying to get this is interesting. Okay, so we're going to truncate the 5. Okay, that's a bold call. That's a pretty severe truncation. Again, it's not like it doesn't happen. And right, the geometry here is pretty good. I think what he's wrestling with here is the finish here. It's like 1, 2, 3. What? Right. One thought is you put the 5 here, right? But then you have very poor balance of time between the two. So this is actually not an unreasonable thought to think that we've truncated here. This is plenty of closed candles here. This being all wick, right? That would be a poor finish, right? So for the 5, so of the alternatives, I suppose this is very reasonable. So that would put us into the way he's got it labeled. I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to try and keep that simpler, Andreas. And just okay, well, here, if we're up here and we're thinking 5 down, why not A, B, C? Let me, let's see if I can split this here. This is just, that's a very irregular triangle. It's, okay, well let's keep this as you've got it labeled here. This may end up resolving and not really mattering here. So let's check this pivot here. Oh, we probably looked at this before, right to the golden zone, and here's the targets, right? So we know algos, duh, right? Algos are not why it moves, it's how it moves. Okay, so we've got that handled here. Well, if this is a B, unless we're trying to finish a combo, I think you're trying too hard here. Would be my thought, Andreas. I know you're flexing, right? Everything you're learning, but I think this is just trying too hard, right? Why not A, B? Here's where your distinction is, right? Where you can invalidate right here, because if we come up here, right, we lose the idea that this could be a 5 coming down. You may have an alternate here, somewhere in here that I'm not seeing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just, I suspect one more down. I mean that. Oh shit! Let's see. We're in log. I don't know that we need to be in log. Let's get down here real quick before I move on. 1, 2. We don't have an impulse there. I love the detail that you're working on here. That's essentially, well, no, we didn't close below. You can certainly see the simplified A, B, C as an alternate here. Now, as we come down here, we're trying to get this to finish the 5th, which would give us the C. So that would just simplify the whole thing right now. Simplify, it's not necessarily better to simplify, but that's often a good place to start. You can see, I may get a little bumpy here, but it looks like there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. It does look like there's a candidate for an A, oh shit, A, B, C, right? So that, I like this, but that could be your 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the liquidity, right? Either you're going to sweep it up here where you have, you could probably just, do, well, that won't work. Here, let's do it. Right, you've got this liquidity right up here. So if the market wants to push up, that's an obvious location where it can grab some liquidity here above this little channel here. So that potentially as to where we might go. Or you always want to look at the market and go, okay, well, where can it go? Where's it likely to go next for liquidity? Well, we grab some down here. A lot of imbalance here. And now as we dig into this, well, there's only so many spots where it's going to go. All right, we can look up here. That looks like that's potentially liquidity up here if we push this up a bit. So good, right? But you can make a case here that this has already been grabbed, right? We've already grabbed this. So where are we headed next? That's a little tricky here because you don't really, I wouldn't even label it yet. You don't quite know what it is. It's sideways with a little, now we swept a little lower low, lower high, lower low. We don't know yet. Okay, right. So a little imbalance here. There's nothing. Everything's been filled. So we have no imbalance here that hasn't been tapped, right? So this little fair value gap here has been tapped right there on the 60. So it's a little bit of a hurry up and wait here. I think for most of us, right, we're looking for the opportunity to buy, right? We're going to get a crypto bull or an alt run, which remains to be seen, right? We don't have it yet. So I'd be looking, down here. If we come down here, this is as simple as I would just put an alert here, create it. Okay, all right. I'm here. I put alert up here. So if we blow up here, okay, well I got to rethink the whole thing. If we break down here, we're likely coming down to test the golden zone here and the level of support. There'll be liquidity down here, obviously, right? We'll have liquidity at these lows. that it will be a very reasonable location, right, for the markets to find liquidity. So you could certainly see how this market we could come down here, sweep some liquidity. Right now, you never, well, never is the wrong word, right? There's no need to be down here trying to pick the turn. Let it pop and show you and take the first retrace, right? We'll come back here, right? Depending on what you see here. There's a fairly good example of this in Bitcoin here. We'll look at it. I've had some people asking about entry models in Bitcoin. While we didn't get the result that we would have hoped for, still a nice little trade. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, so I think right now, here's as far as you can go with this, right? We've got a 3. Now, this remains unknown, right? When the market, particularly with Elliott Wave, it will reveal itself slowly at its own pace, right? We can't say, come on, show me, right? It's going to do what it's going to do at its own pace, right? Today, if you look at the broader markets, it's kind of it's a consolidation day. I'm just looking at the S&P and the NQ. Gold had a little pop, but most of them are self-contained within the initial balance of value area of the day, right? So it's just a ranging day. We've had all this volatility the last couple of days. So today's very, very, very common after big trend days for the market to just consolidate, right? So you get a nice big, fat, volume profile, a big D-shaped volume profile. Looks like that's what's happening today. So you may not get a lot of volatility. It looks like the market's going to wait for Friday's report. So I'd be in no hurry to do anything here. Just kind of a hold. If we come down here, opportunity. If we go up, right, you still like, oh, what are we doing some sort of a diag here to come off the low? Remains unseen. I think this is a hurry up and wait. Nothing wrong with that, right? Not entering the market is a trading decision and often the best one. Okay, all right. So let me move on here. Hang on one sec. Oh, yeah, that's some good news. Sorry, guys. I just got some very good news. Okay, it's related to the other side of the business. Okay, let me. Where was I? Shit. Give me a second. There we are. Okay, so Crypto Janus, who came on strong. God, it was kind of a weak showing. Well, the members now they're posting, but I give them till about 10:15 or 11:15 before we start, and it was pretty skinny. But they rallied, as they almost always do. Okay, so let me get this going. Okay, so this is Crypto Janus, who's looks like he's really digging into the content, right? He's really applying himself. I'd love to see that, right? So I can tell when I can look at their charts and know whether they're paying attention to any of our content or not. Some people come in, they sniff around, they're like, whatever. Some people come in, they just dig in. This looks like Crypto Janus has done that. So he wants upper left screen. Now, one thing that this kind of drives me crazy when everything. So we want upper left. Okay, so let's see what he's thinking about Bitcoin. All right, so number one, I love to see all the lines, all this content, right? Because I know as I said, I know he's digging in. Now, for me, it's a little hard for me, and it's always going to be harder for somebody else to look at your work, because we didn't do it. That's a lot of lines. Okay, so let's, what are you giving me? The 4 hour on Binance. So it looks like we have VWAP on here. Is this this anchored VWAP? Kind of looks like it might be. Okay. I'm going to just take that off first. Oh, these are, God, what are these? Anchored VWAPs? I can't tell. I'm going to move them just a little bit. Okay, double zigzag correction. This is here, hang on a second, guys. Give me a sec. It's just hard when it's not your content. Okay, so let me at least put it in a color combo here where I can see it a little bit better. Okay, so it looks like, what do we have here? These are his projections off of what, the low? 1, 1, 2. Yeah, those are projections off of that 2. Here's the 2, 2, 7. Here's the 2, 6, 1, 8 right here. So if I were to, I'll put this in things that you'll recognize, right? So here's the 2. Oh, no, we didn't. 1, 2. Here's the 2. Oh, I guess we didn't quite make 2, 2, 6, 1, 8. Okay, all right. So there's the nice projection off of the idea that we went 3. Yeah, that's a tough one there. Crypto Janus, in that this seems suspect to me to call that the 4. Yeah, I think okay, I see what you're trying to do, but do you see why? Right, that's the bigger point. I mean, we don't have much of a 2 here, but this best case, maybe you could do it over here, right? So we could get an ABC, but as it is right now, at least here, we could go to even do a 2 hour. This is not a correction, right? It's not a complete correction. So if you prefer it up here, right, just something to consider. And I'm never here to tell you my count is right, your count is wrong. It's just something to consider. It looks like you might be able to finish here. So my thought would be that I would take this out and I'd push the 4 over here. A, B, C, something, right? The 4 is notorious, right? Because we stop progressing the trend, right? We consolidate. Up we go, right? So it's almost always, not always, but very consistently, you'll find the 4 is the easy thing to spot. The 3 will be relatively obvious in an impulse. But the 4, right, so that kind of balances out here. We get a sideways here. We're not getting alternation, but this is a little wacky. We have this pump up here. What is that, right? Liquidity, right? Now we come back down. Up for the 5. Okay, all-time high. Well, this is kind of the key to it. Okay, he's giving me a potential roadmap. There's a couple of different ways you can count this because as it sits right now, there's no way to be definitive. So he's going with an ABC into a W. We're going to go ABC into an X, and he's looking for the ABC to come down and finish. So we're going to get as he says here, a double zigzag correction. It's just 2 3s connected by a 3. So 3, 3, 3. All right, that's all we're doing with a double zigzag, even though it sounds like, oh God, what the fuck are we doing here? Does it need to be this complicated? So I'm going to just move some of this stuff out. Well, there's really, oh Jesus, this is a lot of shit. You got a lot on your chart. Okay, right. So sometimes, right, it can be better to hide some of this stuff, right, and then come to it if you need it for reference, right? It can make your charts just difficult for you to even read, especially if it's Bitcoin is probably something you check regularly, but it's something you haven't checked in a while. You know, the real issue here. Let me. Where do I have it over here? Let's take a look over here. It'll just be cleaned up a little bit. Oh, let's look over here. I got a couple of different counts. Okay, here's just kind of basic. Oh, I've got some market structure stuff on here, so let's we can take that out. Okay, so what is the thought? Well, the one thing that is just screamingly, like you literally have to turn your brain off to not see it, right, is this big high volume node here, right? So because of this, which is why this being a 4 is a WXY or ABC, right? You know, fuck, does it matter? Probably not. So coming into this consolidation here, this is kind of the, I mean, we the hold here we're dropping, right? Because there's nothing in between, right? Because of this, right? All of this imbalance. So if you know, and again, all I'm doing is just highlighting the high volume nodes, which is where we stalled. It was pretty typical for the auction process, right? We go up here, any buyers? Oh no, we come back down here where we know we have business gets done, which is all the market ever does, right? That's, you know, seeking balance and to know, oh, we got to rebalance below. So you can look at this here pretty easily and go, oh, what's the big fucking deal, right? Oh, we're coming down in a 5, which means we're going to follow that with a 3, which means we're going to follow that with another 5, and we're coming down here, right? 5, 3, 5. Why would you not think that? Well, that's standard ops, right? We've had this raging impulse. Why would you think anything else? Right? Well, not a rhetorical question. Why would you think anything else? I think let's put basic labeling on it here. Let's just keep it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So if indeed, now again, I'm not here to say that's the right count. I'm just saying that's a count that we can consider. Okay. Well, in terms of where we might go next, right? Certainly, the most obvious thing would be, oh, we're coming. We got to come. Well, not that we have to, but it would be very common for the market to make a 50% retracement. Now, if we hold up here, There's the potential that we're going to do, because it's Bitcoin, a very shallow retracement here. That would be definitely abnormal. There's the possibility that we have another X to come in here. So if I label it, that we're going to do a WXY. Well, let's bring it down here. X, it's a floater, right? Where do they typically go? It'd be somewhere up here. And all we're doing here is just making an A, B, C into an X before we come A, B, C down here. But if we break these levels down here, there's no support. So it's kind of the dividing line here. Again, this is volume profile for everything from this low to the right. So, okay, we break here, put your helmet on, right? Because we're likely coming lower. Now, is that bad news if you're a long-term bull? Or is that, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to get a chance to buy it down here at 94, 92? Well, I'm a perma bull, so all this would be was like a gift. Yes, drawdown, right? For your portfolio value is going to come down and like, oh fuck, well, it was here, now it's here. But the point is, where's it going to be? A year from now, 2 years, 3 from now, right? If you're looking at a time frame like this or daily, you're thinking long term. I would like to think, right? Unless you're, trading a 5-minute or 10-minute, okay, that's a different animal. That's a different approach to the market. If you're thinking long-term here, and as I will remind you, as I try to do every week, right, Elliott Wave, 60 minutes and above, right? That's where it shines. Below that, you can understand almost the hostility towards it. If you're down trying to do Elliott Wave on a 5-minute chart, because you're changing the count every fucking minute, right? It's just a giant pain in the ass. You come out here, things don't change that fast, right? So you can wait for something to confirm. Now, I suppose the outside chance is and it's very outside, that we're going to go 1-2 into an extension here in the 5th, that this is the third, or alternates here would be something like this, that this is all one big 3, but it's such a monster extension. Right, and it's hard to argue with this 3 and this 5, right? It's hard to, and again, it's Bitcoin, right? So anything's possible. And you've got, certainly, again, as I think I've been saying the last couple of weeks on the Friday videos, all the background macro institutional adoption, the ETFs, all of it, right, is bullish. Jesus, I just read over the weekend here that Trump raised. Jesus, I want to say 21 billion for Trump media to buy Bitcoin. I don't hold me to that, but I swear that's what I remember. I know it was a massive amount of investment capital for Trump media to buy. I could swear it was 21 billion in Bitcoin. I don't hold me to that. I could be wrong, but I thought I remembered it being 21 billion of Bitcoin they're going to buy. They're going to have to layer that in carefully, right? You can't do that all at once, which they won't. So, okay, could it be that we're going to do something crazy shallow here? If you're playing the odds, you wouldn't think that. You would think, oh, much higher probability that we're going to come lower. But it's Bitcoin, right? So does it defy traditional expectations of where the market's going to go? Sometimes. Certainly, that's a very unusual 2. That's not a crazy 3. But, I've seen many counts that have it this way, right? From good Elliottians. Does it matter at this point, right? Whatever we did here, it really doesn't matter at this point, because this is completed impulse. So the only question is, how far do we retrace? Well, you got 2 I suppose, worst case, going to the 80s. It's just amazing to me. I remember jumping up and down when Bitcoin broke 5,000. I couldn't believe it. Now it's like fucking disaster if we retrace to 85,000. Time frame, right, is really what's relevant here. What's your time horizon for your Bitcoin holdings? Mine is the pride from my cold dead hands. I'd never sell it. Yours may be different. Okay, I don't know that we have a lot here that we can work with, right? It's kind of, we got to wait for the market, as I say, it's like an exotic dancer, right? Slowly revealing. Well, it's more fun to give it that analogy. then, no, well, let's wait for the market to demonstrate its bias. I like exotic dancer revealing. More fun, right? We got to have a little fun here in all this dry TA. Right? It can get mighty dry. But it just takes a little winner, right? Just to put a little dopamine in the brain. And in the brain comes the membrane. Okay, so nice work, Bitcoin genocide. But again, I think we're all in a kind of a hurry up and wait. What are we doing here? I'll get out of here. Okay, let me get off of this. So, what's he giving me? Bitcoin. Oh, CRV. Okay, this is another one. I think he's got a pretty good holding here because he regularly posts it. Okay, so where is CRV? CRV is going to be lower left. Okay, so let's go. God, it looks exactly the same. Whoops. What the fuck just happened there? Oh, I know. I got to copy it. I can't. It's the thing. I can't work with them until I copy it. All right, which is why I end up with duplicates. Oh, fuck me. Okay, here we go. All right, now I do this, right? Do not mistake this as me not paying attention to volume. I just do it to clear up screen real estate. Maybe Cryptogenesis is left-handed. Maybe that's why he puts that over there. But that just bugs me. My brain cannot compute. Let's do it here. Get that color. Okay, right. So we can look here with CRV. God damn, that's a lot of lines. Okay, hang on. All right, right. So, well, these are kind of cute, right? Okay, what do we got? Oh, you can make a case for some Wyckoff there. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what he did, right? As I recall from a prior live stream. Okay, well, all right. So, okay, well, something happened here. You forgot to keep going. Like you wouldn't have 5 here, and well, what's that? I think what you wanted to do was this, or maybe you just got away from you, right? So something. Talk about a nice tight channel. I don't even think it's so tight you can't even pull. Well, you can barely get it there. Yeah, I think that's we can all agree we have something impulsive here. All right, let me get this out of here. God damn, that's a lot. Okay, I got to clear some of this, man. It's no disrespect to what you're doing here. It's just too many lines for me to work with. Okay, so leading diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to a 2 hour and dig in there. Okay, I like what you're doing here. Right, so this he's paying attention in a correction, right? You always want to consider the shift. This is the, it's kind of a trade-off, right? When you have a narrow channel like this, you're getting your 80%, immediately, right? And remember, it's one-time use, right? So the only thing you might consider here is just go to original, right? And now you get a juicier hit on your 80%. Boom. But still, and it's a gold. It's one or two ticks in front of a golden, right? So you get a golden corner, which means we have 80% probability plus an algo driving it. Boom. Say this every week. Just out of curiosity, right? How many of you regularly apply median lines, pitchforks? Statistically, it would be less than 1% of you, because, as I've said for a long time now, it is the most common technical tool in any technical package. Let the least used, yet the highest odds. Funny how that is, isn't it? Okay, so there's your 80%. Never take my word for it. Just apply it yourself. See if you don't come up with the same kind of numbers. Okay, 3, 4. Well, it looks like a little bit here. You're mixing. You're mixing a diag with an impulse, right? So here's an impulse. Shit, what are you doing here, right? So it looks like you're trying to do this. You're trying to put the 5 here. But if it's a diag, right, it has to be done in a series of 3s, right? So it's got to be A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. You're perfect until you got to the last leg. which I think you can do it. Looks like you could just do this. All right, so maybe that's just a little bit still learning, right? Which is okay, right? It's the point of these live streams. Okay, right. So now we can do it as a series of threes. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It's a contracting, right? So it's a little bit funky. You know, ideally, right? This is it's becoming, I think, it used to be a hard rule, now more of a guideline, right? That you wouldn't see an ending diag here to start off the low, right? You'd expect an expanding diag. Okay, right? I mean, you've got 5 swings here, right? How are you going to deal with them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There's, right? Look for a diag, you know, contracting, right? It's not, point being, it's not a leading, right? It's a contracting. Leading, you know, 3 is bigger than 1, 5 bigger than 3. It's kind of it's not the prettiest count I've ever seen. A, B, C, 1, 2. Okay, where are we on the way down? Okay, there's a lot of shit down. Oh, that's, I think you wanted that. So it looks like he's trying to do a double here. So I'm going to move this since that's already burned. All right, we've already used that 80. A, B, C, W, X. This is good work. And anticipating that an ABC comes down here to finish this. Low volume, right? So it was good, right? So I love to see this because I know that means he's paying attention, right? So we have the imbalance right here. You see the fair value gap here, the imbalance, right? It's just, again, the market moves so fast, right? Not all the orders get filled here. So we have a low volume profile node here. It would be the same if we drew it. What are we on, Binance? Or we can do it. Oh, let's go off of this low. All right, so here's the pocket, right? He's talking about a low volume node. We come down here. What the market tends to do, right? Its tendency is we'll come right down to the edge of it if it's going to hold, right? Well, once we get into it, it's likely to go through to the next right here, right? Then we're coming through it now. Again, you do no need to be the hero to try and pick the turn. Let it pop. Take the retrace. That way, right, you know where your stop is, very defined math, right? You're going to be wrong many times, and odds are very high you'll be wrong more than you're right, but at least the damage here is manageable, right? If you're wrong, right? Fuck. Expect it to happen, right? Don't let that surprise you, or you're going to, I promise you, no matter who you are, you're going to be wrong more than you're right. So it's got to be about the risk, right? What kind of risk are you taking? Not, oh, I was right or I was wrong. No. How did you manage the risk? How did you manage the reward? That's the key skill, right? This stuff, you know, we all love. If you're into TA, likely you're into solving a puzzle. Elliott Wave is just trying to solve the puzzle with a certain number of pieces and rules and guidelines of how you can place those pieces. Some people hate it. Some people love it. It doesn't really matter, right? There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. At the end of the day, all that matters is, are you profitable? How you get there? Oh, fuck. As I said many times, you can flip a coin. Heads I buy, tails I sell. Good money management, you'll make money. Uh-oh, something just locked up. Okay, so again, I think I love this down here. Love it down here. This is all kind of played out, right? So now you're kind of waiting again. That it certainly doesn't look like a buy, right? If you're in there and be like, oh shit, okay, well, I can buy it. It's not a great, right? There's a 3. Looks like an ABC candidate for a 4. Could be, right? He's showing you the alternate here because there's an impulse. All right, here's an impulse. When in doubt, just start tracking the 5s and 3s. Can't miss that impulse. Oh, that looks like that might be a 50. Not quite. You know that resistance is up there. Right? It will always be there. If that one breaks, it'll be up here. Right? You start right. Well, let's start here. Could be a front run. It's a little shallow for next. How about the low? Oh, come on. Exactly how many of you are surprised by that? Hope the answer is 0. Okay, I don't think we have anything to do there, right? We got to get it out of this. We're in kind of an algo box here. Again, slow reveal. I like to think of an exotic dancer. You can think of, I don't know, lecture series at your online university. Okay, I don't know where that came from. Okay, CRV. All right. Okay, Pilgrims back with WIF. CryptoJanice has ETH too. WIF, dollar tether. Well, this must not be looking good because I haven't seen Dr. Alban posting on WIF in a while. How are we doing over here? Do you have the possibility to see XRP? Yeah, we'll get to XRP today. I like this, but that's not what he wanted. He wanted WIF. Okay, so WIF USDT sent from phone. So hopefully, okay, so he sent it from his phone, so it may not work. But I think, God, I really like your color combo here. I think I can get your WIF over here if I do it this way. Let's make sure we don't have symbol. All right, we don't. Okay, so let's try. I think if I go WIF, I'm going to get your WIF. And what on Binance? Okay, so I think I'm going to get yours. Yep, there we go. This is something, right? It's in the belt system, right? In the white belt, right? Just getting started for people. Or sometimes it's almost like it's just fractal, right? It just makes it easier to grab the retracements, right? You're getting a straight line, so all of it just gets a little easier. It's just personal preference, right? It's not mandatory at all. Just something I used to use a lot when I was getting started. Okay, so let's we'll go ahead and take that off. He's got his Lux algo, right? It's a good one. That's a freebie. We got Vegas Wave, always a good one, right? As we see, as we run right into it. Oh, he's got a few other things. I don't know what they are. Okay. Okay, first thing I would want to know is why do we stop here? Wouldn't that be just the logical question? Why do we stop here? I don't know, but I can look at that and say, is Al involved? Possibly. Secondary pivot. Seems like we're forcing here. I'll just keep it up here. Well, we plowed right into the Vegas wave. Let's go to 2 here. 1, 2. How solid are we? Oof, that's skinny. Okay, that flies. Oh, that's really skinny. I might do it up here. 1, A, B, C, 3, 4, 5 of the 3. Okay, right. So this is always the easy. All right. Are we impulsive? Yes. We hold the 1. A, B, like doesn't matter. W, X, Y doesn't matter. Right. It's the retrace. And as I said, right, in a 4, what do we stop? We just go sideways, right? Very commonly. And then, so here comes the consolidation. What comes from consolidation with 100% certainty, right? It's not, again, don't take my word from it. Contraction, expansion. So one thing that's absolutely certain in the markets when we get that consolidation, right, and that can go for a long time, but what will come out of it will be expansion. Okay, so A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's like he wanted the 4 up here. And that would tell us that we now, looks like we've overlapped here. All right, so no longer an impulse. That doesn't necessarily kill it. What does that create the option for? Well, oh, are we going to think diag? Well, let's just consider where we went. Completed impulse. What would we anticipate? Not what do we know? What do we anticipate? Off a I'll use the 5 here. Go to 1, see if we get any more clarity here. Well, that's kind of a sloppy little. Let's brighten that up a bit. 1, 2. Even that's a little butt ugly. Yeah, it's because we done this. Okay, you. Fuck, right? It gets more bearish, right? If this is A and this is B and this is C, right, which is not unreasonable. Oh, here, hang on. Let's raise this up one. Okay, if that's it. Okay, if we're gonna do it as a diag. Okay, well this has to be. Fuck, that's open to interpretation. 3, 3. I always like to see in a diag pull. Pardon me. The start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3 at the 50. That's where you look. That's what we teach you in the belt system, right? Because that's, you know, Elliott context. In a diag, start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3, we're looking for the 4 at the 50. Does it? I promise you we didn't set that up, right? It's just very commonly what it does. And you can see, like, oh, look at the prior support becomes the resistance. So this would be a very low risk trade, or you can put a short on right here. Target down here. We know Al's here, right? There he is. Right. Remember, the algo doesn't give a shit about any of this. All it sees is this: dominant to dominant. That's what it sees. Right? That's all we care about, right? What is the algo doing? Why would you think anything else? Well, because you might be threatened a little bit. God, is that an impulse? Is it? 1, 2, right? You're not. Looks like you've got an impulse in here. This is kind of a skinny 4, but looks like I've got an impulse there. Guess I love the 4, but. Okay, if that's an impulse, what's this? Wouldn't your first thought be? I don't know, but that's my first thought. ABC. 4. If we're doing a diag, this has to be an ABC. Why would you think something else? Until what has to happen, right? This has to turn impulsive. So here's what I would do, right? Just again applying Elliott Wave here. That could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then then you're going to rethink the whole thing. What would keep you leaning bearish? Well, this is a pretty shallow retracement. Let's go back to a 3. It's a pretty shallow retracement for such a big ripping impulse. More typical to come down here. If we complete here, right? You got to think ahead. Okay, well, God damn it, come here. If we finish here, what's the expectation, right? You can see how we might find some support down here, right? Consolidation, right? Oh, well, A, B, C. Right, now that's, if you're a meme coin bull, that's not good news. Tradable. Well, would you buy it there, right into the 50? Would that be your first thought? Probably not. You can sell it there. Well, maybe you're just, you're just bull only in crypto. Well, now you're waiting. You're waiting for a better entry down here. Seems like this might be good. All of that consolidation down a degree, prior 3, 4, pretty common target. I think what you have to be careful of here is this is a little ass backwards too. If this isn't here, if this is an A, come here. Let's take this up. If this is an A and that's an expanded B, can we get that? I guess we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's a diag as well. So you get a diag A, expanded B. A little surprising that we went that high. But what happened up here? Just for review, right? It's easy to forget all this stuff. What is that right there? That's a break of structure. up. What do we anticipate? Now, what do we know? What do we anticipate after a break of structure? Retrace. What's happening? Retrace. How's it forming? As a 5, 3, 5. 5, 3, 5, right? So down here, love it. So here's what I would do. Same thing I always do. I'm putting an alert, because I get some of the best trades I get all year from live streams. I'm putting an alert there. Okay, if WIF comes down here, I'm interested. I'm not going to sit here and try and buy the turn. I'm going to wait for that reaction, and I'm going to take that little retrace into maybe there's some imbalance here, right? That's the one I'm looking for. This one, not the first one. I want that one. I want the 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, I say this a lot often, but for those new viewers and subs, right? You want to take our purple belt, right? Which Andreas has just started on. We only let you trade 3s and Cs, right? I mean, assuming you want to pass the test, right? It's kind of the point, right? But I promise you, that's a great discipline. That's why we do it. Break of structure. What break of structure? What are they doing here? They're grabbing liquidity. What's up here? All the stops. Where's the liquidity after they grab this? Below, where do they come get it? Now, where's the liquidity? Well, looks like they came and found some in this consolidation. Where would they likely go next? Now the next low. Internal, look. External, internal, external. I mean, that would be internal relative to the swing. To go external. It likes to rotate, and it's not 100%, but that's pretty common. So if we're coming down here, that would be the target. Right here, the liquidity, right? Because we all know there's going to be liquidity there. Plus, you got an order block sitting right here. Perfect spot, right, to get on board. That would be just to call it a demand zone here. We're a little down before we went up. Heads up. Thanks, Pilgrim. Okay, Crypto Janice is back now. Ethereum, what the fuck happened to Ethereum? A long disappointment with them. I used to never miss an Ethereum on a Friday. Lately, it's just such a shit show. The TA is terrible, but Buterick is he's trying to pump it. We're going to go 10x apparently. Oh, let's leave. Sorry. Oh fuck! What did I get here? Now I got ETH. ETH is lower right. Okay, I got a copy again. Shit, I could have saved this one. I've copied it so many times. Okay, so I got lower right. Bear with me here. Let's get through ETH. Let's see how it looks here. Now again, he's doing this thing here that I just can't do that one. Okay, so let's see how he looks. Oh, we have a short coming up. Okay, interesting. All right, love to see this. Okay, he's going for a 5 up here. Oh, let's pull out here a little bit. Okay, interesting choice. Okay, what right? Hot marks of a good low. All right, did they grab some liquidity and go? Right, the liquidity grab, and it's the displacement, right? That's the key to it. Yes, they did. Okay, so it makes for a very weird. What the fuck are we doing with that? God damn, that's tricky. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's just leave it here. I don't know that it matters too much here. I might dig on that a little bit more. Does it matter? It's a question mark. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Well, it's not hard to spot the impulse. 4. You'd like to think the 5 might come higher, right? And that, see, my thought, just looking at it without even digging in, this is all 4. Well, let's just call it gray box, right? Well, we stopped moving the trend. We're just going sideways. So I'd be inclined to put the 4 over here without even digging into that. I'm not saying don't take this trade. By no means am I ever saying that. I wouldn't tell you what to trade. I would tell you what my opinion is. Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. I wouldn't take that trade. for a couple of reasons, right? You're making the assumption that we're going to have this little tiny little 5. Why are you assuming that? Well, there's got to be a reason. Let's see. All right, is Al? Why is he thinking Al's up here? Probably. Let's get this on the low. All right, that's what it is, of course. Should surprise exactly 0 people that have ever watched one of my streams before. God damn it! My machine's lagging a little bit. I just rebooted it. It gets laggy. I probably got 50 tabs open. Come on. Okay, so some of this gets a little bit crowded. Okay, all right. So here, what we're looking at here is hello market, right? This is what it does. I say this every week. Every asset, every time frame does not matter. Doesn't matter what the asset is, what the time frame is, whether you're looking at 1 minute, 5 minutes, monthly. Doesn't matter, right? Dominant algo, right there. Doesn't matter. Do not take my word for it. Just do it yourself, right? Just start drawing them, and you'll see what I mean. It's not why it moves, it's how it moves. Okay, so we have a candidate for an ABC, which would suggest, oh, okay, we're coming up here. So is this, are we, so remember, just because it's there doesn't mean it can't break, right? But you can understand why. Why do we stop here, right? It's always the question, why do we stop here? Well, we had this great move going. Why are we stopping here? They don't say, more buyers than sellers than buyers. It's software is why we're stopping here. Now you could, see, the people like to do this. Well, it's got to be more than that. Well, you could say all the consolidation right here, right? What do we have here? Consolidation, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. Now, which way are we coming out of this? That's the piece you don't know, right? And so what do we do? Guess? No, you don't guess ever in the market, right? You wait until you see something that you recognize. You go, oh fuck! Now he thinks, it's going to be a shallow 5 here. That's not what I see. I think, right? If this is real and the low is in, this should be a better looking impulse, right? If that's, oh god damn it, come here. If this is 1, 2, 3, all of this 4, 5. So my view is, okay, if you were just like, oh fuck, I've got to do something, I've got to take a trade. Well, certainly the short's the better trade there. But why are you jonesing for a trade, right? You need a little dopamine in your life. I'm not saying don't take the trade. I mean, it's a little risk. What do you got here, right? It's 5 to 1. It's just going after the consolidation range down here. But, Jesus, let's get in there. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, okay. No, okay, right. Yeah, I think you're trying too hard here. Which, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, until proven otherwise here, now we're stuck here, right? So I think this is just, the risk is too high here. You don't have any edge here. It really is what it comes down to. So the only thing you have to lean on is the algo here. So if we're coming up here and you tag that, okay, it's a short little, maybe you get it. Well, if we're doing that, then what do you think Bitcoin's likely doing? I mean, Bitcoin will pull Ethereum, right? Not the opposite, right? So if we start to come down, right, in Bitcoin, right, making that deeper correction, we looked at that earlier, well, that's going to pull this right down as well, right? So this is not, it's not a bad thought. I just don't think you're putting in a 5 there. Guess what? I could be wrong. God, is there something else here I can lean on? This is still a little dubious here to me, to put the 2 there. I think I might like it better here. Right? Just something to think about. So we've done the 3. We're still working on the 4. So to break that, it needs. That's again why the short is not a bad thought, right? It needs to come down a little bit, sweep some liquidity, then go up. rather than to just grind through the algo, right? I mean, it's certainly possible that we just grind a little higher, grind a little higher, grind a little higher. Here's the next resistance, right? We've got all of the, oh shit. We can just draw it. Oh, here I can just do it from the top. All right, so here we're, high volume node, right? This is, if you're taking the short, right, that's what you're looking for to come back down here. You'd probably be a little more ambitious, because if that's the 5, if his analysis is correct, and that's the 5, well, what are we looking for? Again, standard, right? So it's the same thing every time, over and over, right? We're looking for it down here at this high volume node. What's in between? Very little, just, oh, we got a little bit, but you see the imbalance right here. This when we screamed higher, right? So if we get back into this, there's nothing to hold it. Hopefully that makes sense, right? It's not rocket science here we're doing. It's okay. First question always, where's Al? Right? You got to know where he is. You gonna buy that? I think not. Right? So gun to my head, I'm sure as fuck not buying that. Okay. Great post here, CryptoGenesis. Your work is getting better and better and better. When in doubt, first thought, always simplify. Don't complicate. Simplify. See if you can do it simplified. What's the most obvious thing to your eye? All right, then start to piece together. Okay, is that an impulse coming? Is this an impulse? Okay, let me keep going. Great stuff though. Appreciate all the posts. Okay. All right. Well, here. Okay. Hang on. CryptoGenesis. All right. Oh, goddamn. The idea for the ending dying short on ETH is that wave 5 cannot excite. Oh, with that. Oh, I see what you did. Okay. Right. So, I'm with you. I think this is the better fit here. 1, 2, big 3. Right. He's giving me some of his thoughts on how he got there. That wave 3 wouldn't be the shortest, but. I still think that's a cleaner count, that the 2 is down here. You've got the 3, you're putting in the 4, and you're trying to go here. Again, watch it. As I said, right, gun to my head, I'm not buying it. Okay, I'm going to come back, CryptoGenesis, because I see you got another one up there with 4, right? Because I was pushing these guys for content. Okay, Pilgrim's got, did you give me a chart? No. Okay, so we're going to just go to this one. Let's do UUUU. Oh, I guess we use crypto here. Oh, fuck. UUUU. No, he doesn't want crypto. Is that? Fuck, is that right? No, that's not right. We want all here. Energy fuels. Trads. All right, whenever I bring up a trad, right, I'm always going to start on the daily. Do we need log scale? Do we? It looks like we might. Oh, fuck. We're going to have to go to a weekly here. Yeah, we need log scale. Okay. All right. Let's get it in log. Okay, so that certainly makes it a little easier to... Here, I do this. Just force a habit. I always want the lowest low and the highest high. A, B, C. Why not? 5, 3, 5. Well, I don't know. Some people get confused, and they sure like to resist the idea that the market moves in 5s and 3s. Not sure why people fight that. Seems a silly way to approach. I mean, you have to be in denial, right, to say that that's not how it moves. Is that enough? Sure looks like you have a contender here for a 3, 3, 3. Well, let's put that in 5, 3. 5, 3, 5. 5, 3. What? You know what? Feel kind of silly, right? Where's all the imbalance, right? Where's all the displacement? Right here. What have we returned to? A little front run. Let's see. Is Al involved? Let's always, right? Where is he? What did he do last? Right? You simply have got to know. A little sloppy. from the top? I mean, there's no knowing, right? There's only tracking, right? Does it look oh, shit. Does it look like maybe Al's involved here? Retrace, right? We're just not always going to be 50 of the tick or golden zone of the tick. We're right in the pocket here. We get a little, probably an order block. There's how you know it's an algo. It's not this. It's what happens at the target. That's how you know. That's how you confirm it. Oh, do we react at the target? Oh, well, algo got paid. As they tend to do. All right, they get paid. Okay, so what are we thinking here? If the Y is in, okay, well, I got to have a 1 here. Now I'm on the weekly, by the way. God, did we get it there? Ooh, that's a little skinny there. Well, you could do it as a WXY, right? If this is 3, you're going to have to expand the B there because that's a 3. So we'd have to redo this. WX, let's see, 3. God damn it, we got to do it there. Oh, fine. Let's keep it simple. Here, we don't need that one. Let's just do these. Let's just keep it simple. All right. Okay. So here we have a contender for the pivot. Let's take that off. Okay. Do we have an impulse? Well, we have a contender. 1, 2, 3, 4. Working a 5 there. Why would you think otherwise? Little the 2 and the 4. Okay, it's not perfect. Looks a little. It looks too. Could we do it? Yeah, maybe we could. Good impulse, right? You always want to be tight in the channel, right? So good. Looks like we're better here. This is pretty shallow. You'd have to do a DeSelfa, WX, or it doesn't matter. ABC. Oh, come here. Oops. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Sorry, here I'm a little sloppy. Let's get these on here. Order block. Oh, buy zone order block, right? So down before we go up, right? Come back here, pick up any stragglers, right? We got displacement off the low. It's front run, right? So, you know, is hitting that target? Is that Al here? Well, possibly. You got him here. So you're always a little bit. Is that it? Hard to call it. Looks like you do an ABC here. 3, 3, 5. Skinny, but well, you can understand why we stop here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a deep 4. Well, I think the thought would be for the bull, you're working on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come. The bearish alternate is pretty obvious. Let's see. Oh, here, let's put that in a different color so it doesn't confuse us, right? Pick your poison there. C. Al, where is he? Too far, so he's not there. So he's broken there. And it looks like he's broken there, right? So good news for a bull. Break, break. Now we got it. We got to come back. The next one, and we want to try and use something that they used. They use it. It's like wick only, right? It's a bit of a judgment call. Far, right? So they'd have to be right here. When in doubt, right? You don't force a trade. I don't know what we have here. Well, a few things I can say for certain with certainty. Oh, let's see. I'm going to come back here and dig on that. But it looks like we get an impulse to finish. This is a little ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like you do it here. A, B, C into the 2. So what things we know? We know we begin and we end with 5s, right? So this is part of the conclusion, right? We get an impulse that comes down here to give us a candidate for the Y wave. Oh, let's take that up. Okay, now it's either A, B, C, right? And we're going to roll over again, but we've come here. Come on now. I'll pull them just right here. Okay, what are we running into? Well, we're at the edge of value, right? So 70%, 68 point, whatever. 68% of the trading volume is right in here. We're coming up here. What do we have here, right? So it's high volume node, order block. Oh, let's get an inverse up there. Come on. There we are. All right, so we have it. This was a fair value gap. Now it's an inverse fair value gap. And take that one out. So coming back here to tap it. Okay, what are we doing? I would want this to. I would want to see this turn into a pretty good rip roaring 5 here, right? If we're going into another, if this is 1, 2, 1, 2, right? This gets very bullish. Well, as it sits right here, I don't feel compelled to buy it or sell it or do anything, right? Well, let's do, okay, all right, so discount, premium, all right, we're in the premium. So if we're trying to, oh, come on, machine. If we're trying to put in a 1 here, I would want to see it come back and retrace into some of this consolidation. So it's tempting, right? So this is just human nature, right? Oh, it's going up. Fuck, I got to buy it. That's what makes trading so hard. That's the exact opposite of what you want to be thinking. Not necessarily that I want to sell it, but that this is not an ideal place to be buying, right? Major distinction between the two. Do you want to buy that? Well, let's see. You'd have, what have I got up here? Oh, shit. You got a bunch of shit up there. Let's go, just get a little help on the market structure. This would be change of character. Where's the last break of structure? We haven't had one since nothing on the upside, right? So the last break of structure is here. This is all change of character because we go chalk, 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 right? There's no break of structure, right? The last break of structure is here. So you're going to have to come up here, right? This would be just a change of character. So for this to go up and do 3, 4, 5, right? This is going to be a big rip-roaring push. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, still more to go here. So you're looking at that going, okay, where is the liquidity? Well, there's only a couple of places they can go for it. Probably a little bit of stops up here. But here's the big one. What would that be? Remember, a change of character is a break of structure, right? It's a high that produced a result. So 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, it starts to get bullish. I just don't think you have a particular edge here, right? To try and think, oh, is that 1, 2 here? And we're going 3? Could be. It's too, my view is always there's so much to trade. Why would you take something where it's a little bit like, oh, fuck, it could be. Well, it might. Yeah, I would love it to be. Unless you're, tied into the fundamentals and you have some sense of why. What shit? What do we have here? Something happening today that's causing that little pop. Bullish fundamentals. To me, that's just okay. So what's the other possibility here, right? You got to consider, did we just sweep some liquidity right here? Yeah, we did. Where's the next liquidity going to be? Right up here. Right up at these highs. Often considered, even though they're not spot on. Oh, fuck. be equal highs. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is liquidity up here. Just getting to it. But you're again, I think that the risk reward here is not favorable. One, you're buying in premium. Two, you've just swept some liquidity. Ideally, you'd want to let it retrace. I think you got to wait there. That's just my view, right? All I can do is give you my opinion, right? Try and save you from a great trade. For all I know, that fucking flies, right? It's just not. It wouldn't fit with what we teach, right? It would just be like, okay, well, fuck, all right. If I didn't buy it down here, I'm gonna have to see what happens. Because if we're going to do this, 1, 2, we got to have a 1 here if it's going to go into a 3. If it's going up for a 3, there has to be a 1, right? It's not optional. We got to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? These are not optional events, right? They have to happen, right, for this count to hold, right? I tell you. It's the beauty of Elliott Wave, right? There's no mystery. Like it either is or it isn't. And if it's not that, then it's this. And if it's not this, then it's that. Welcome to Elliott Wave. But often, right, as the cases we're finding today, you're like, well, fuck, I don't know what it is. I can't say this, then that, or that, then this, because I don't know what I've got. You got to wait, right? Back to our exotic dancer, slowly revealing it. What are you revealing? Hard to tell there. You might be terrified by what you see. Okay, this is, oh God, how do I say that? Monserrage. He wants IOTA. Let's try that. Let's go to crypto. I find the, there we go. All right, so just the aggregate. It's kind of a quick, if I haven't looked at something. Okay, well. Oh, here, let's go to a daily. Well, that's kind of surprising. Well, let's pull back a little bit. Okay, do I need to be in log? Let's come out of log. Yes, I do. Okay. Okay, well, this is pretty. We can certainly remember the market's always telling you a story. We can see what. Oops, we can see what happened here. Get out of there. What do you think happened here? How do we know what happened there, right? We don't even have to wonder, because what's happening here is liquidity is being accumulated, and what comes out of it. Now, your next question would be like, I wonder why it stops there, right? Wouldn't you logically go, well, fuck, that's quite a move, right? What's that? Right? It's a change of character, but it is a break of structure. This is the high that led, right? So if we go up here, what do we know? What do we anticipate? Retrace. Well, let's see why it stopped there. Is Al involved? I don't know, but I suspect he probably is. No, not from the higher. Secondary. Well, I got all this imbalance here, and I can't get volume profile here, but I don't really need it because I can see I'm going to have low volume here. So we've come back to kind of rebalance this. Now, the danger here with this is that if we break this, so slow down, don't get all, we're going to all-time highs. You're going to have to break this. Well, we're not going to call that corrective. So what are the choices here? What else would you put there? Right, now this is what you got to be careful of, right? You can't forget that that's up there, right? You don't necessarily need it on your chart, but you got to remember Al is going to be up there. Okay, so what do we got here? Well, this sure looks like a 5. So what you'd want if you're bullish here, let's take this up. Oh, well, let's go here. Hang on, let's go to minuet. All right, if you're bullish, what do you want to see here? Oh, sharp double. WXY. Because we can look here, see pretty clearly, we got an impulse. Again, does the market move in 5s and 3s? I don't know how anyone denies that. It's kind of a bizarre thing that happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. WXY looks like a reasonable count to get that thing done. What happened here? Is that Al? Does it matter now, right? It's, well, part of it is just, what did he do? Let's get you out of here. Get him right on it. Something I need to say? I'll go get paid. Looks like I got another one here. Maybe. Maybe a little shallow for a 5. No, I didn't quite get it. But that's Al getting paid right there. 5 up. What do we anticipate, right? Well, we've had 5 up. I feel kind of silly, right? I do this every video I've ever done. It's like something additionally I need to say. Is it possible that wouldn't be the first thing you would look for on any chart, anywhere, any time frame, any asset class? You got to know where he is, or you'll trade right into him. Just run out of things to say. Okay, so what would we assume? Not what do we know, but based on the story the market is telling us right now, why would you think something else? Okay, well, if all that's good, it's certainly technical, right? We got the nice, everything you want to see here. We got a nice, we'll probably do it. Well, that's all right. So we get a nice channel here for the impulse, right? It's all self-contained. We get a pretty tight correction right to a golden. So what do we have here, right? Don't forget, it should be like, oh God, of course he's going to draw this. Well, he's not going to forget that, would he? Meaning, what do I have here? Golden corner pocket. It's my signature trade. Meaning I have 80% odds of getting there as long as that pivot holds. Right? 80% is not 100%. 80% odds I'll take all day long. In the market where there is nothing else that gives you those odds other than selling out of the money options. That's it, right? And the problem with that is that you can be right 50 times in a row. Something catastrophic happens, you've got naked options, you're out of business. Right, so you got to be careful about that. But those are the only two places where you get odds that high. That's it. Everything else is bullshit compared to it. There's nothing else. That's the highest odds in a technical event, period. Okay, right, so why would you not take that trade? Right now, why would you not take that? Oh, I like 100% odds. Okay, when you find that, let me know. Let me know when you find that one. Okay, 1, 2. We're waiting for 3. Now remember, where's the target for 3? Is up here. If this is going to go 1, 2, 3, right? That would be the 1618, which we know. We don't even have to draw it, right? So just to show you, right? The negative 100, if we're coming from a golden, is going to be right at the 1618, right? So we don't have to actually draw this one. It's implied in the retracement extensions, right? So 1, 2, 3, that's what you're after. What? 4, 5 to take the high. Again, do I know that's coming? Of course not. Would I trade it? Well, what's your, you tell me. Is this a good trade? Oh, fuck, where's that little thing? Oh, fuck, where are you? Oh, I got to tell you, that's a... No, right, you can do it right here, right, off of the golden zone, because the premise is the golden's going to hold. 31 to 1. Now, very, very hard for any of us, right, to sit all the way through it. Let it get there. Very hard to do, right? So partials, right, are important, right? Because you don't know that it's going to get there. We don't know. It might get right here. It might get right here and roll over. Or that might be the one of the 3, right? It's going to take longer time to get there. So we get 1, we get a 2, we get a 3, we get a 4, right? It's going to take longer, right? So this would be very, very common, right? To hit the median line, realize the 80%, retrace for the 2. Now, you're like, oh, fuck, why didn't I take that? God damn, why didn't I take some profit? Well, take some profit. You could bank all of it, right? Because what are you anticipating? Okay, right, let's put it together now. What are you anticipating right here? What is that? What will that be if we get that? Break of structure. What do we anticipate, right? If it's going up here to get the median line and hit the algo target and we get a break of structure, what are we anticipating? What would you think would come next? Now, what do we know? What do we anticipate? 2, 3, 4, right? If it's going to play ball. We don't know. We don't know. Right? There's no knowing. There's only odds in money management and pattern recognition, really. That's what that is. Is that a pattern you recognize? Have you seen it before? Have you traded it before? Is it complicated? Not really. Anybody having trouble finding that 5? No, I would think not. A 5th grader could find that. A little tricky on the correction. It's probably a WXY. But at the end of the day, it's a 3. It's a 3 to correct a 5, anticipating the next 5. What's that? That's not brain surgery. Hello, there you go. Okay, who gave me that? That was Monsieur. I don't know how to say it. Monsieur. It sounds sexy to say Montserrat. Okay, thanks for Montserrat. I'm going to go with that. Depeche. Okay, so wait. CN Salazar, AMD. Oh, I've got some of this in an option trade. Let's see how we're looking today. Whoops, AMD. We all need a little dopamine in our life. Well, yeah. Well, that's what drives every trade you've ever taken, right? It drives most of, and certainly in men, we're hungry for dopamine all the time. Right, but you have to recognize it, right? If you have to know, whether there's a lot of things I could use to trigger, right? Trying to, not like this is a family show, but a lot of things, right? You're seeking dopamine, right? Because it's a short-term, pleasure zone for your brain. AMD. Oh fuck, this can't wait. What the? Oh, Pyth. That's why. It does do that every now and then. It'll fuck you up here. Okay, AMD. There we go. Okay, let's get back to a daily. Okay, all right. Lots of changes in state of delivery here. Jesus, where's all this coming from? That's none of mine. Let's remove drawings. Well, somebody's copy that's in there. I took some heat on this. I think we're here. I took it here, took that, right? Because I've got a kind of widely spread option trade on this. I was kind of surprised to see that. You see, well, you can see Al right there. Right there he is on the bounce. And then, right there's a good example. Oh, you're thinking, oh, well, fuck, we're going up here. No guarantees. That's pretty deep. All right, so what are we doing here? So what's the bigger here? Let me take this off just for a second. God, there's so much shit on here. I don't know. Must be me. Let's hide that. Jeez, I don't know what any of that is. Somebody else's work. Okay. Okay, well, a few things that are pretty obvious, right? So we got a break of structure here. No, those are always a little bit of a fuck you to the Elliottician. Because you don't quite have an impulse there. You're a little. We've got. You can dance with it. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's 1 A B C 2 3 4 5. Maybe you can Elliott dance it, but it's not there, right? It's not always going to be there. Diag into the 1 2 that doesn't quite work, right? So you kind of got to bring it back here. It doesn't quite work, right? It's not always going to work. it's not there. Right, so does it mean, oh, well, fuck, if I don't see a clean Elliott count, well, I sure as hell can't trade it. Well, some might think that. Nothing wrong with it. You got to really kind of pull back on this. So how would you approach that, right? The Elliott is elusive. Let's just say that. Okay, well, what things that I can absolutely lean on? Okay, I know, well, here we can just go back to... you know, and any of them, right, are all going to be pretty similar. Okay, so this would be the break to the low, right? If we were going to, well, we've got to change the character here. This is the last here break of structure. So we can certainly do this, right? We can use the geometry of the market here. Oh, looks like that's a trend line price action rule here. If we break the trend line, it's the first break, right? That's the sucker play for retail. So you break the trend line, and it implies you're off for a new high, which we get in a break of structure. So you know, Al is not here, right? It's too deep for Al. So you can see why I think I have an iron condor on. Now, of course, they're getting whipsawed a bit by Tariff Man. Is Al here on the way down? Where is he? You got to find him. There he is. No, doesn't look like he's there. Looks like he's here on this, but it looks like this might be a little fib fight. Yeah. All right. So, oh Jesus, look at that. It's wicked. Oh, no, that may be too much. Let's get in there. Ooh, that's tight. It looks like it's a break. Sure looks like they stayed with it. Mystery, right? So, okay. So maybe they tweaked it for whatever reason, or maybe just randomly that's how we roll. But what we're looking for is certainty. All right, so let's get this off. I think that might confuse you. Okay, so 1, 2. What can we see that happened down here? Do I have a candidate here for a 1, 2? It looks like we might, right? So perhaps the Elliott is going to reappear here as we come off of that low. Is there a count that would accommodate that correction? God, it does not like. Well, it looks like you'd have to do a WXY. So it looks like you'd have to do WXY, and you're going to have to. It's a little bit of an Elliott shuffle here to try and play this as an ABC. Makes me, I wouldn't go near it until I see something that I can recognize complete. Who gave me this? CN Salazar? If I get this 5, you can see a nice target here. We have this inverse right here. If I can get that to complete, well, okay, well, now we're back into, okay, right, we got a little smoky over here. Okay, now I can see, right? I can see the flame here. And I know where Al's going to be there waiting for me if I'm long. He'll be right here, and then he'll be here, and then he'll be here, right? So all that has to be cleared before you can get off to challenge that high. So as we're coming up here, what you're looking for is, okay, next question is, what happens at the golden zone, right? Do we pause, or can we get through? If we can get through, very good news for bulls. But remember, then you're going to have to go here, because that's what Al will do. Right, can I get through here? Oh, it's still looking good, right? Because what are we anticipating after that? We're anticipating at some point we're going to get the 50, right? 'Cause then you're going to have to go back here. Can I get that 5 right into that golden, right? That'd be ideal. Now you're like, oh, okay, right? We got, you know, tariff, whatever, right? We don't have clean Elliott, right? If it's not always going to be there. So we've got the potential for Elliott to be cleaning up here. Okay, I get a 5 self-contained within this channel. I'm not going to hesitate if this comes down in a 3. I'm all over it here. I don't care that this was bumpy. This is clean. If I get a retrace here, that's a go. Right now, am I going to sit right here? I probably wouldn't, because of the ambiguity of some of the price action here, I'd wait for that and I'd take that. Because one possibility is it always turns into a 5, right? That's what that's always the, I've done this many times, right? That's always the question mark. At some point, right? Because the lure for liquidity is always going to be at these pivots. So why would you assume it wouldn't come down here and get that liquidity? Well, that's certainly going to change your analysis. Oh, if that's a 5, oh, what? No, okay, something else is going on. It's always, does the pivot hold? Because it can either break here or it can break here. What gives you any insight into where it might go? Context. What we just did a 5, we're doing a 3. Why you wouldn't assume another 5 here? You would assume a 3 there. That doesn't mean you're going to be right. That means that would be the logical thinking. Oh, because certainly that could turn into a 5 and this turns into a 3 and we're going much deeper and this is some sort of part of an ABC. All of those scenarios are real. The market, again, is under no obligation to do anything ever. It's going to do what it's going to do. 5, 3, 1, 2. Because if it's going to go, the 3 is not optional. It must come or your analysis is wrong. Period, period, period. It's that decision matrix clarity that gives Elliott Wave its advantage over anything else, right? Many people disagree severely with that statement. I stick with it. See, on Salazar, AMD is a bitch, right? I think the only way to trade something like that's sloppy, right, is what I did, or did an iron condor. Okay. Depeche, bringing it with MATIC. Oh, I haven't looked at MATIC. Let's see what he's thinking. Man, he really came strong. He gave me 3 here. Okay, hang on. All right. Okay, let's leave. How we doing? Do you have? Yeah, we're gonna get XRP. Trust me, I keep my eye on XRP. It's my second largest holding outside of Bitcoin. So I watch it. Okay. Oh, I love his work. Right, it's so clean. Right, you can always tell a skilled technician by the way their charts look. Right. Just so tight and clean, right? He's very good. 1, 2, 3, right? Little tricky up here that we're going to double up here, but it's not like it doesn't happen. 3, 3, 3. Do you see it? Right? I'm assuming you do. I don't want to assume, right? So here's the ABC, ABC, 5 down in an impulse, A, B, candidate for the C, right? He's one more leg down, right? As he's noting here, this could roll. Oh, I'm going to move that. This could pop here for the 4. Oh, he's got me locked, I think. Does he? No. Could pop here for the 4. And then we go down. But it's a pretty reasonable, what's he keying off of, right? The idea, right, is you see this support becoming the resistance. So would you buy it or sell it there? That's a daily. Do we have a good 3? So all the hallmarks of a good entry, right? The ones that you feel pretty good. Maybe you get a little track. Often here, as I'll enter the market, I'll enter with light size. If it starts to go my direction, I'll start adding. So what do we see here? Just what you want, right? So sweep the high, because what is happening there? Retail, right? Now, if you look there, I know Depeche would see this, right? That's why he's putting the alternate here. It looks like you might have a 5 into that. So and he wouldn't need to do this, but I did just to demonstrate for you guys. You want to, oh, come here. How about no X? All right, we want to keep a track here because there's a reasonable look here to think, oh, wait, whoa, hang on. I just did a 5 here, right? I'm not going to end a 4 with a 5. Now we got this wackiness. Oh, this is on crypto here. So what the fuck happened there? Some pump dump. Well, pump dump. Okay, where are we? Right, where's Al? Right, we always got to be front of your mind. Where's Al? What did he do last? Two and the 4s, it's not great here, but I would go with that until forced to change it. It does kind of look like you got an ABC going in here. I mean, why would you think otherwise? 5, 3 to a 50. to the imbalance. Well, you can see the imbalance here, right? Right here's the displacement, here's the fair value gaps, and here they've been all mitigated now. This got partial, fully mitigated, right? So but wait a minute, we're trying to do a 4. How the fuck is that going to work? Again, Depeche knows this. I'm just doing this for those of you watching here. All right, so he's mapping it out for you right here. All right, so we could do that. But we don't want to get too far here. See, this is the question mark is down here, right? Do we need to roll over again? It's because we got the pump and dump there. So it leaves you a little bit, oh, fuck, what? Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, ooh, what? If the low's in, right, you could certainly trade this as a candidate for a 1. Right? Certainly that would be not unreasonable. But if MATIC is going, that means the broader alts are going. They will move together. Oh, shit. Here, let's get to an 8. Oh, fuck. Come on. My machine's locking. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Right. So you got reasonable thought that we're done here, right? We're done, and this is the go, right? So if I have a choice here, I'm buying, not selling. Very low risk, right? Where's the better risk reward? Obviously, it's in the long side, right? You buy right now. Right here. Right now. Oh, fuck me. Come here. Things annoying when you're in log scale. You want to go for a third? It's 4 to 1. That's the assumption, right? The first assumption, and you have all the ingredients here. Right? Here's the liquidity sweep that you want at your low, right? With displacement. We've come back to the displacement. I mean, pretty reasonable thought that we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And why would you not think that? Right now, what's your risk reward there? I'd probably use 707, maybe a little bit below, because 787 is not uncommon. And you've got a little order block in there, right here. Right here's your order block. Demand zone that was followed by displacement. So we know it's a good order block. So that's the ingredients of a good order block. Do I get consolidation, right, before expansion? And do I leave some displacement, right? So I got a good candidate here for this to have come down here and just essentially mitigated that imbalance here, right? So, okay, we're in the pocket, nice spot. I don't have what I often will say, okay, I'll wait. I don't have the 5 here. Can I get a little higher, right? Maybe a little change of character here and then take the retrace, because the 3 is not optional. Let's go down something really low. This is the mystery wick, right? You're like, what the fuck? Even that is, it kind of blows your count up. So I think the way you have to deal with that is like that. All right, what did the close tell us? Pretty good looking impulse here. Pretty good looking 3. 5, 3. Right? Does the market move in 5s and 3s? You have to be in denial to not answer that. Absolutely yes. You just have to be in complete denial, right? Because you're, for whatever reason, you're an Elliott hater, which is stupid. It probably means you tried it and you didn't do well, right? So you're like, well, that shit doesn't work. Nothing works, right, for the wrong person. Everything works for the right person. See, with Depeche, you can tell that he studied. So he's past the point of having to worry about the count right now, but that's your objective, is to get to where, okay, the count, okay, right, because you can recognize the alternates. Then it becomes about money management and risk control and targeting and entry and the things that distinguish you as a trader. That's where good becomes great. The easier task is to become a good technician. That's easy. That's much easier. The hard part is managing your emotions and the risk and the money, and not getting caught up in, oh fuck, I wanted to be right there, so I didn't want to take a stop. You don't, fucking none of that matters. The only thing that matters is if you're profitable. Period. That's it. Who cares if you're right or wrong? No, but zero people care. Only you care, right? How it affects your P&L. And that's about how you control the risk, because there's no getting in the ring and not getting hit. Fucking great work. I love this guy. POL. Okay, hang on. Let's see, what are we doing here? POL USD again, right? Solid work. I don't even have to really go through it. So 1, 2, 3. That's okay. It's the right look. Well, okay, valid, right? Is it the right look? Well, it's not your dream setup. The channel is, you know, how you doing it, right? Is that dreamy? Not really, right? That's not what you would hope for. You like them all tight, nice and tight, right? That's what you hope for, right? There's a, what is that? It's why you don't. I can say it 1,000 times, right? It's the worst possible place to enter the market. I'm never saying you can't scream higher. It's just over time, you will pay for that. Okay, so here, what have we done? We come down to the golden zone. Doesn't look like we're done, right? So if we're doing it, we've got a reasonable thought here that we've got a 1 in. It could, of course, as he's noting here, it could be an A. Why would you think A? Right? It would have to be part of, you'd have to be considering, oh, this doesn't look done. This is going to A, B. We got more to go. Well, that's not good news for crypto bulls if that's the case. And, oh, fuck. Well, clear impulse up. Long. Holy shit. That's a long correction. Oh, fuck. Come here. We're on Binance here. Can he get it down here? He's working a zigzag. A, B, not yet. I suppose there's an outside chance here that you could have a 3 WXY. I suppose that's an outside chance here that we could do a WXY here. A, B, that's a little skinny for the B. I prefer his count, right? But if we start to really push higher here, I might rethink that. Maybe we have a WXY. So right, we know we have to finish with a 5, right? So do we have a 5 there? Is that even a possibility? Right, it looks less likely. You might be able to talk yourself into it. Well, fuck me. How would we do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's not a great. Well, you could probably do it. I think you're working too hard there, right? So right now, as it sits here, that looks very. So what hallmark of a 4? We stop progressing the trend, right? We just go sideways. So the 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Also, of course, where do we look for a 4? Right? If that's the. Come here. If that's the 2. Right. Wave 4 has tendencies. Where's the highest probability location? Right here. Not uncommon for them to go to the 50, right? So we go to the 50 in consolidation. Now, does he have anything below? No, let's get an EWO on there just for validation here that we have the right kind of setup here. So all that black means squeeze. So let's go to a 3 here and get a little more of that price action. So here's the big push, right? Here we don't quite get there on the 5, but we get a weak 5th. This would be the 3 if it's 1, 2, 3, right? So here 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd expect one more down, and then you'd expect, right? Now what do we know? We'd expect there'd be some divergence on this end right here. So we get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not as deep as this, right? Which is just the difference between two moving averages. It's not fancy. One more push down. One more push down. Here, what's the last thing that hasn't been tapped? Looks like you might have that. I mean, you could really refine it down here, but this, see, you wouldn't do the whole thing because we got a piece of it here. That's untapped. Push, displacement. Trade it? Well, here's what I would do, which I'm going to do. I'm going to, oh, fuck, if I can get it. And an alert right at the golden zone. So if it's coming down here, I want the heads up because I'm not, again, I'm not trying to buy the turn. I'm trying to wait for the reaction. I want to see what happens here. Can I get through that and then retrace to it? Prior support, right? Broken. Can I get that to come out of there? Well, take note here, right? If I do get that, right? This is a 1-2. What would that be? That's not likely to be the 3. Where are we looking for the 3? Oh, he doesn't have it up here. The 3 is going to be way the fuck up here. If it's going to play good Elliott ball. Oh, here we can just do it this way. Oh, let's use that. So we're looking for the 3 up here. 1, 2, 1, not 3. 1 of 3. Something to think about. I don't think it's right. I think it would acknowledge the same, right? We're waiting for that 1. That's what we want, right? We want that 1 that can't get the sweep, right? It can't get there, right? It's too strong. Up we go. Great stuff, Depeche. Thanks, man. Never give back. Platinum bull porn. Oh, who doesn't love some bull porn? Let's see. Can I get that up there? Let's see if I can get that to play here. Yeah, $3,500 platinum. Well, why not? Why not? Oh shit, I gotta get rid of that. Hang on. Why not that? Oh god damn it. I got too much open. Come on, come on. Okay, so let's get, oh, that's a CFD, not the futures. Okay, so let's see if I can get that. Oh fuck. Well, I might have to come back to that. No, have I done all the hits? I think I have. Okay. Hang on, guys. I'll get there. That's the copy. Oh shit! Hang on. Come on, come on. I need a blank. Give me something. Okay, I'm gonna just get rid of all that. 57 drawings. Yes. Okay. So let's get. I would go to the futures, right, rather than the CFDs. Let's just get the history here. He's got to be giving me weekly or monthly. Let's go to a weekly. Well, to try and recreate what he's got, which I'm trying to do is just looking at it. What did you give me? You gave me a, oh, a 3-month. Holy shit. A 3-month? Fucking A. 3-month? Okay. Oh, that 1 is a little shaky. I don't know, man. Let's fuck, that's too much. Let's go to a monthly. Weekly. Let's go back to a weekly. Can't quite get, you have to do it there. So if you're trading that on the CFDs, I wouldn't go too heavy. Well, just looking at that, here's all I see. Radio waves. Absolutely no edge, nothing to work with, just white noise. Is it technical, right? So what can we look at here? Is it technical? Is there anything to lean on? Hello. Every asset class, every market, every time frame does not matter. Always going to be there. So where's the target? If that's a 1-2, which if it's a 1-2, looks like somebody got broken here. Quick. So do you see how the algos work? Right, one could be the same people. We don't know. We don't know who's on either side. Doesn't matter. They don't care. We don't care, right? We just have to track what they're doing. So we have a little algo box here. So I'd stay away from that one. Now it could be because I was pushing these guys for content, right? He just whipped up something because he always tries to help me when I need content for these live streams. A lot of times these guys will just give me something, right? Because I need 6 or 7 to go. This is just again. I don't know that I'd do anything there. Even on a 4-hour. 1-2 maybe. Maybe you take a flyer on that, never give back, right? Something you can do small size on a CFD. Okay, appreciate that all you had. Oh, that's nice, Kasparov. Very, very nice comment. I have time to look. A link to USDT. Yeah, let's take a look at it. USDT, and then I promised someone I was going to do. Oh fuck! Here, let's go to let's do Coinbase. I should be doing Femex, but they don't have the history. It's my sponsor. Kasparov. Well, he's got Gary Kasparov's image in it, so must be a chess enthusiast. Okay, Link. Okay, right. So we've looked at this many times, right? There's the pre-election, then we go up. Okay, crypto-friendly admin. We come all the way back down. From that consolidation comes the expansion, right? And then we come back down to the consolidation, right? It's just how the market works. Well, it looks like we have something to work with here. Okay, right. So do I need to use the 5th grader here? Let's see here. Judgment call on that one. Well, that's what's there. Oh, even Elliott would tell you, right? You know, in leveraged markets, right, you can allow for a little overlap here on the 4. Are we technical? What's it reacting to, right? You can see it right here, right? There's the order block. So why do I say that? How do I know that's an order block? Because look what comes off of it, right? The displacement. Onto a golden. I would hold that as the 5th, right? This wouldn't, you know, it's a tick, right? I know hardcore. I'm not a purist. Hardcore would say no, it can't be. Well, you could probably do it as a diag, right? I don't know that it matters, right? So here's what I can say with certainty. I got 5 swings here. I got 5, and now I've been followed by a 3. Now, is that 3 done? Looks like maybe needs to come down a little bit lower. So 5 up. Why do we stop here? Is that Al? Doesn't look like it's far enough. Secondary pivot? I can't quite tell. This is not a good one to use because you can tell they didn't use it, right? So perhaps you could use this one. Let's see if that was used. Oh, too high. All right, so you'd have to go here, right? You got to find what, so we know, okay, well, now we're at a 50, right? So now, okay, well, okay, it's not always going to be a golden. There's a 50, right? It's perfect. Okay, so from the low, 50-50. Some markets, right, they'll just, the euro likes 707, 786, right? It's just different markets. So do we have a WXY there? Let's go to a 1. Well, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC, well, that's okay. All right, so let's get the. All right, when it's tricky, focus on what you can, like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's an ABC. Right, I'm pretty sure I got a 3 here. Do I have a 5 here? Doesn't quite clear the impulse, right? That's too far. A, B, C. That doesn't really help you. So I'd be inclined to do it as a diag, right? Because it looks like there's an A, B, C into that. So you'd have to do this, right? You know, trying to stay consistent with it. No, that's wrong. Sorry. I have to do an A, B, C, A, B, C. That's a little tricky in there. This looks like an A, B, one, like we're trying to finish an impulse, which would bring it down here. This is a little one. I won't get stuck there. There's a 3, right? 5, 3. This is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a decent looking 3, and I would measure just to, okay, how are we doing? All right, how do we look here? Second most common, right at the prior, or at the order block that launched it. Okay, so it looks like that's a reasonable 4. How do I think? Why would I think that? Well, we're just going sideways, right? We stopped progressing the trend. Okay, this one can come back over here. So it looks like there's one more push down here, which would bring us down here closer to golden, which would be exactly where we'd anticipate it. Even though we pause at the, right, that's where the algo kicks in, right? This is where they finish. So it seems reasonable. Oh, I'd probably put a channel on this. Well, you could do it 2 ways, right? You can always start with median line, see how we did here. 80's been burned, right? It's a little narrow for median lines because you're getting your 80% too fast. Actually, you don't really want it that fast. But you could just go to, you know, this is always a modified shift is a channel. You get a channel here. We're outside of the channel, so you'd have to put a runner on it, or you can just go back to original if it's steep enough. Oh, all the 80's been burned, so it's not really helping you here anymore. Other than okay, we'd have another target down here, but it's not 80% odds. So you could just as easily put a channel on it. Oh, do that. Looking for that 5 down. Oops, fuck me. Come here. That 5 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why would you think otherwise? Right in the pocket for a 4, consolidating from contraction. Oh, do I have it down here? Oh, you get the idea, right? We know with an EWO that's going to be a squeeze, right? We're looking for the last push down. Okay, we finish, right? Golden. What do we have then? That's better. Now, whoops. Let's bring you back down here. Now, I don't have this yet, but if I get that, now I'm looking for that. It's a better one, right? You have more width, right? You want a little more distance between the start of the median lines, right? The pivots, a little more distance. Now, I don't have that, right? So, okay, well, so what would be a reasonable thing to do? Here's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put an alert so that if I break that low, it's going to tell me a good chance I'm coming down here, right? Because we got all this already been mitigated. So if we're coming down lower here, heads up, right? I want to pay attention if I get into that golden. If. What would you do anything now? Well, long, short. Where's your better probability? Well, you're kind of, if we're going off of this swing structure here, you're still in discount, right? So you might say, well, shit, it's no trade, right? I'm not there. If you want to be that disciplined, it's certainly a high probability location for a 4. I might, if it's me, because I'm perennial bull, I would be waiting for this to finish. Finish. Okay, good. No, nice. Okay, right. Now, what comes out of it? All right, do I get a push? I'll take the retrace. That's the one I want. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done now. I have one. I promised XRP, so let's get over there. I have it up here somewhere. How am I doing on time? Oh, fuck. Look at that. I'm right on time. Okay, it's unbelievable. I rarely do that. So there's XRP. Okay, let's go to a daily. Oh, this is on crypto, right? So we're all, everyone who, this is a bit of a sphincter clencher. We're, oh, fuck. We're, you know, we've been consolidating here for a while. Let me get off of crypto. Oh, let's go to Coinbase. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I need more history. God, I'm surprised I don't have it here. God damn it, I don't. Okay, so hang on. Bitstamp probably have it. There we go. What are we doing up here? Here, I mean, here's what makes anyone, right? If you have money parked here, it may not be, you know, it's ideally it would be money you don't need, right? Because you're going to be very, oh God, double up here. I'm very long-term bullish here, so I'm not really sweating, although I do have a lot of it. I'm a tiny bit uncomfortable, right? Because it's been sitting here for so long. What is it we're thinking, right? It's a bull, very least, right? Something along these lines. Now, do we have to be in log? Yeah. How else could we could, not much else we could do. 1, 2. Oh, we can't even see it. 1, 2. 1, 2. Is it 1, 2? Is that it? 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe. Oh, come here. God damn it. Hang on. Let's put them up. Is that a 1? Well, that's what we're hoping if you're in it. This is a diag of some sort. 3. It's kind of shitty. Might have to do it here. 1, 2, 3. It's, you know, here's the problem, right? We're stuck in this range. We can't. And what's holding it back, right? Fucking. We need clarity and litigation. The crypto bill. Can we ever get this out? You know, can they ever get out of the courts? If they do, if they don't, we're coming back. So you gotta, you know, acknowledge the risk you're taking by holding here, and you gotta live with it. Because we could sit here for a while. It's frustrating. Oh, here, if I just drew it across. All right, this is thin up here. Oh, let's try it also from, oh, let's give it maybe from the right. I think it will. Yeah. All right, it's so thin, right? There's nothing up here. There's the little, right? We've stayed up here, but there's not a whole lot of, this is, right? We're hoping that's a 4. That's the whole premise for a bull. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Waiting is the hard part. Okay, guys, I think I'm done. Anybody, the XRP. Okay, that was the last request. All right, look at that. Shit, I'm actually only 7 minutes over. God, my guys will be thrilled, the ones who helped me with the time codes on these. No. We watch, most people all watch after the fact, right? That's what I would do. Shit, I see a 2-hour live stream, I go, oh fuck no, right? But if there's time codes, right, I'll want to pop right to whatever interests me. So we do it. It's kind of cool that YouTube did that. That wasn't always the case. You had to scroll. Okay, guys, I think that's all I got. What's the market doing? My account's down today. Okay, guys, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with me. I always appreciate that. I hope you learned something. I hope the members, right, a few ideas. To those that contributed, much appreciated. Thanks, guys. I always appreciate you. Okay, with the rest of you guys, I'll be back on Friday. Have a good one. Stay safe. Don't move.